Hi. Is the City of Vancouver a member of the CAAF, the Canada Audit and Accountability Foundation?
Yes.
And I understand from the CAAF that every other major Canadian city does have an independent Auditor General, notwithstanding that they might not have separate offices, as in the case of Toronto. Is that correct?
Yes.
Why do you think every other major Canadian city has an Auditor General?
The city, all the other city, if you look at the city of Edmonton, Calgary, they have city auditors. Essentially, they're sort of a hybrid auditor, internal auditor general shop. The city of Vancouver have a fairly major internal audit team back in the 80s. It was a team of 16, but it was not efficient. So what we then did was disband the group. And 20 years ago, I came in from the budget. I was a budget officer, city treasurer. Because of my knowledge, I came in and reestablished the internal audit group. At that time, we were the first municipality that actually focused on operational type audit instead of the traditional financial type audit. So for the last 20 years, we had been working on reporting to the director of finance, evolved to report to the city manager and then the audit committee. Why we don't have an auditor general? I think the audit team was serving its functions, and the management, the city manager at that time was happy with our work. But does that answer your question?
So it's historical circumstances have created the situation. So the IIA Standard 2060, again, I want to go back to that question. I've done some digging into this, into the Code of Ethics and Standards, and it says that the reporting standards for professional practice and internal audits require a lot of significant control issues, as you've described. But it is quite clear in its interpretation that the frequency and content of reporting are determined collaboratively by the chief audit executive, senior management, and the board, which I would interpret as being city council. And there are a number of elements that are contained under that suggest that the independence and the reporting directly to council is a key aspect of this. And you're right, there are hybrids from my understanding, and I have spoken to the Auditor Generals from Halifax to Edmonton. So I know that there are variations on a theme. But I think it's a case in point that a lot of the questions that have been answered here have been answered by the city manager, and it's incumbent on this, what is intended by the Auditor General to have that independence that would ultimately be directed to reporting to the board, in this case, the city council. Is that consistent with your understanding?
I believe so, yes.
Thank you.